Night. Yeah, Nick talked about politics a lot. I saw this rich politician the other day, and I could tell he was rich, because you could hear the change jingling around in his pockets. And so he's walking along the street, and I started noticing the quarters were falling out of his pocket, and all of these young kids were coming up, and they're fighting each other for these quarters. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's horrible," but I liked it. Because I like watching young people fight for political change. I think that's a good thing. All right, yeah. I'm Addison. I work here. I'm a server. Which means I get to keep having these fun little awkward exchanges with the dishwasher. He'll be like, "How is it out there?" I'm like, "Oh, it's beautiful." You'd love it out there, man. But it's weird when I ask him how he's doing. The other day I'm like, "How are you doing?" He's like, "To tell you the truth, I'm kind of tired of doing dishes. I kind of hate it." And I'm like, "Well, I got good news and bad news. Bad news is I'm going to go get more dishes for you." And it's just bad news, I guess. Because you're the dishwasher. So. Dishwasher, that's a thankless job. I never go up to people when they're done with their meal and they're like, "Hey, compliments to the dishwasher. These dishes were not dirty at all. That was awesome." Recently, but yeah, you gotta be careful when you say, "How's it going?" I went to Ross the other day, and Debbie, the checkout lady, she's checking me out, and so I thought I'd ask her how it's going, and she's like, "It's going bad." I'm like, "Ooh, I wish I didn't ask." And she's like, "No, it's going real bad. Things beep constantly. I keep hearing beeps." She's like, "Next beep I hear, I'm gonna kill myself." I'm like, "No, don't say that." She's like, "Yeah, next beep, I'm gonna kill myself. Do you want paper or plastic with that?" And I was like, "Do either of them beep?" She's like, "No." And then on the intercom, it's "Debbie, we just want to say you're doing a great job down there." "Debbie?" Oh, Debbie's dead. Speaking of death, though, I recently watched the Santa Claus movie. Stay with me, It's weird. In the Santa Claus movie, the murderer of Santa gets to become Santa, which I think is a bad rule. It's like when you're fresh off your first murder, you're not trying to deliver presents to all the kids in the world. You're trying to murder again. That's what you're trying to do. And that's not a good quality for Santa. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Where else are we going from here? Recently looked down. I got a fortune cookie and it had bad news. That sucked. I opened it up. It was like, "These are the best moments of your life." I was like, "Gosh, that's bad." But no, yeah, kind of got weird energy right now. I went through a breakup. That sucked. It was a kind of a sketchy phone call. Kept cutting in and out. I just hear her go, "Addison, I think we're breaking up." And I'm like, "Oh, is it a bad connection?" She's like, "Yes, it's a bad connection." She's like, "It feels like there's mountains between us." And I looked at her location, and there was mountains between us. Because she went to Montana. So, let's see. Saw some homeless people today. Talked about homeless people. I'm supposed to call them houseless now. So, that's better. It's like you had all these cold homeless people, they're just like, "Oh, we're homeless." And then the government came, and they're like, "You're not homeless. Home's where the heart is. You're houseless. You have no house." Like, "Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. It is not so bad, actually." No, I saw a homeless guy the other day, and he had a sign. He was like, "I will do anything for money." And then right behind him, Walmart had a sign that said, "We will hire anyone." And I was like, if only he turned his whole life around. Thanks. Woo! Yeah. Don't let me say joke and they're like, that's funny. Thank you. That's the exact thing I wanted you to say. Gosh. I had a really good plan for this. I bailed on that plan. Let's see. Dogs. This dog came up to get pet by me the other day. He had a vest. And I'm petting him. And then I realized the vest says, hey, I'm a service dog. Please don't pet me. I'm working. So I stopped petting him. He's like, what the hell? I'm like, you're working, man. Like, I can't pet you. You're on the clock. And then he's like, come on. I was like, no. He's like, come on. So I pet him a little bit. He's like, $30. I'll do this for free. Dogs, though. When I did have a girlfriend back then, sometimes we would take her dog out to restaurants, and I hated doing that because everyone in the wild will just come up and be like, hey, can I meet your dog? Can I meet your dog? And that'd be fine, but it always means, can I meet you? Because then they want to ask you questions. And I'm like, I don't want to meet you. Just meet him. He's down there. But yeah, sometimes guys will come and be like, so does your dog have any hobbies? I don't know. So I'm like, he loves walking on the beach. He's a Trump supporter. He's not too sure about the planes on 9/11. And he loves Frisbee. It's like, oh, he loves Frisbee? It's like, yeah, he says it reminds him of the true shape of the earth or whatever. That's his thing, not me. I had one little kid come up, and he's like, can I pet your dog? I'm like, sure. So he's getting down, he's petting this dog, and then I realized this kid has a tail. And I don't mean like in a Jason Bourne movie, like, oh, he's got a tail, shake it. No, I mean like, it's like a raccoon tail attached to his pants. And that'd be fine, but then I was like, oh no, we clipped the dog's tail. So, got two very confused animals down here. And the kid looks up, he's like, what happened to the dog's tail? And I thought it'd be funny. I was like, oh, well, he used to have a tail, and then we had to cut it off so kids like you could have tails. And the mom did not like that. So, no, I love, I've never done torture. I never tortured anyone. But I do like to microwave beans a lot. And I feel like it's a similar experience. The other day, I put my beans in the microwave, put them in for a minute, take them out, and the beans were like, we're fine, like, that's whatever. And I'm like, well, you're not done. And I put them back in, and I was like, watching. And then you hear it in the microwave, the beans, they're popping, they're like, finally, I take them out. I'm like, oh, so how was that? There's like exploded bean heads all over. The leader of the beans looks up at me and he's like, come on, man, that's gotta be enough to take a taste. Not enough. All right, maybe one more joke. I love, killing animals on my property, bugs, buzzards, what have you, crows, whatever. But my neighbor, Jim, he's always getting on me. He's like, you can't kill those birds. So I took him to court, and everyone's like, Addison, you're not an activist. What are you doing? I'm like, I know, I just think Jim's crow laws are unreasonable. All right. That's going to be it. Big thank you for everyone that came out tonight. This is very fun. If you had fun and you also have spare change, please put it in one of those buckets. And thank you for coming out. Enjoy the rest of the show.